Go. Hello, welcome to DJ Storybook interview series. My name is Brian Murphy, and today I'm going to give you a really short introduction, his name only. I want him to talk to all of us about who. In fact, I don't want to give his name. In fact, why don't you do the whole thing, Jaron? Give your full name and do the whole deal, because you have a nice little big list of being entrepreneur, vocalist. Keep going with it. All right, go for it.
Yeah, well, hi, I am Jaron Legrair. I am a singer, voice teacher, speech trainer, vocal coach, oh my gosh, voice researcher, music director, entrepreneur, professor. But I was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. But I am the proud owner and founder of the Jaron Legrair Studio in downtown Akron, where I teach private clients for voice and speech training. I also teach at Point Park University and at Youngstown State University. And I'm also the director of the Akron City Gospel Singers for Summer Core Society. I music direct shows at Civic Theater. I've done Youngstown Playhouse. I work with, community theaters all over the, area, music directing, things like that, vocal directing, things like that. So yeah, that's in a nutshell, in a big nutshell, that's kind of who I am and what I do.
Well, Jaron, we did a show a couple of weeks ago, and I was listening to this soulful, very heartfelt music. That's how I describe it. How would you describe yourself as an artist? Who are you as an artist?
Oh man, that is an awesome question. Wow, that is an awesome question. I always think of myself as, and this is such a cliche term, but it is a eclectic niche, if you will, because of how I grew up and where I've sung, that has influenced my artistry as a singer. I grew up singing in church, so that's kind of my first outlet of artistry, was just singing on Sunday morning in service. And then I started doing musical theater in high school, started doing classical in college. A little bit, I teach musical theater on a daily basis as my 9 to 5, as people call it, or I just like to call it, other places I teach. But I think my artistry is really honestly, but it now, to your point, I feel like I always try to sing from the heart. I was taught that as a young age: sing authentically, sing from the heart, sing what's true to you. So I try to, put that in my teaching, in my singing, in my business moves, because I'm all about authenticity. People connect to what's real. So I try to be a real singer, and try to be a real teacher, real artist, real business owner. So that's kind of, my eclecticism comes from the gospel, the musical theater, the classical, jazz that my parents had me listening to. My parents had me listening to Ella, growing up, Larnell Harris, Sandy Patty, Take Six, Walter Hawkins, the Clark Sisters, so all those, even those things listened to in a car, a whole bunch of choirs, I'm a choir kid, so all these choirs and things influenced, who I am as an artist and vocalist and teacher, honestly.
I love that. So if I think it's so important to be authentic and to be true to yourself as an artist. And I actually think, we as artists grow into the authenticity. I think that as young artists, like you said, you have this list of people who really influenced you as an artist, and you use those influences to become the authentic teacher, entrepreneur, vocalist. People see and feel realness. They sense it. They don't know, but they sense it.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think, and I talked about this before this interview, and I want to bring this up right away here, because I think this is an important conversation we have with artists about a responsibility. So let's go, the responsibility as an artist. When we look at our influences, how do you take that responsibility? How do you understand the responsibility?
To me, the influences and influencers that have influenced my artistry, I want to take what I have, pulled from them, what I've learned from them, and then teach it to somebody else and to show it to somebody else, to display it, in my art, in my teaching. I was just saying before that I don't see a big difference between my teaching art and my performing art. To me, it's my art, my creative outlet is to educate. My creative outlet is to teach. My creative outlet is to sing, is to everything else, to direct. That's kind of how my brain works, and so I feel like it's my responsibility as an artist to not only display and educate. I feel like art in and of itself is a lesson. And there's so many lessons to learn in art, and like you said, people may not understand it, but they feel it. They're almost subconscious taking it in. It's not like, okay, it says this color is red, say red. Something is obvious like that. But when they hear certain, music, or in my case, it's music, when they hear certain people speak or sing, I was learning from Karen Clark Sheard. I didn't know it when I was 5 and 6 years old. I didn't know I was learning choir music, to teach it at, age 32 now, when I was 8 or 9 years old, learning it in the children's choir. Now I'm still singing these songs, teaching it to other people, So it's almost like art is a teaching mechanism, of many other things, of course, but to me, art is also a teaching mechanism. So it's my responsibility as an artist to continue that tradition of educating and showing what true art really is.
I love that. And speaking of, I'm just a little, for me, Baryshnikov was I used to watch Baryshnikov. I wanted to be like him. And so we have these people that we've been influenced, pictures at the time, some pictures I used to see, dance pictures.
Yeah.
So, and, listening to the music, you just don't realize that influences who you are as an artist. Mm-hmm. And, also artists have an opportunity to educate, to voice what's really going on in our society. In fact, we need the arts to voice what's going on, and I believe we are in a transition in our country. How do you see that type of responsibility? Where do you see in 50 years down the road? How do you see art? I mean, if you look at a lens, 50 years ago, it looks like. What would they see?
Oh man, I think if somebody 50 years from now were to look back at what we're doing present day, I think they would see, like you say, transition. I would say change. I would say, it's all those words, turnaround, things like that, because there is a shift going on in the country. There is a shift going on in our nation, even in the world, and it's funny, I was thinking about this, now in terms of social media and the, visual age where all this content is just presented to you every day. There's a lot of people taking that and using their art form to show the change, the transition, the turnaround. And so I think what they're going to see back looking at us is us using our voices as artists to share what's going on, because some people may not see it from a news cast at 11 o'clock p.m. They may go on Instagram and scroll and see a portrait of somebody who's been killed and say, who is that? Click on that hashtag, now they're educated. We're back to the education part. So it's using that art to help educate, but to also help promote the change that needs to happen. And I've been blessed to be around people who are about the change, who are about the, breaking down of the walls, things like that. So seeing that all around me has helped my morale, and using my art to promote this has helped my morale because when everything started happening, beginning of June, I took like 2 weeks off of social media. I fell off the grid. It was too hard for me, but, once I came back on and kind of started being, a social human again, once I kind of had to get through my mind a little bit, I looked to music. I looked to visual art. I looked to dance. I looked to those things that I connected to express how I'm feeling, what I'm feeling. You know, the other day I recorded, a couple weeks ago, I was honored to be the lead vocalist for Youngstown Voices, and I sung I Know I've Been from Hairspray. I've sung that song several of the times in the past couple of years, like kind of one of my staples now, but singing it this time, not that it didn't mean anything before, it did, but singing it this time right now was totally different, you know. And I had some people text me, oh my gosh, it touched me, it did this, it did that, you know, I had chills. And I'm like, huh, me too. And I was singing it, you know, because of the words and what they mean, even to my community as a Black man, you know, and how many people have connected to those words who aren't Black. You gotta be Black to connect to the words, you know. So just singing that and seeing how it touched, you know, so many people, and it spread so wide. I think it had like 13,000 views last time I checked. Yeah, like it just spread so wide. I had people, you know, from a can of paint, tweeting me, emailing me, I had to find your email, I had to tell you, you know. So to me, that is a big sign that's saying people are connecting to this. They're listening to what these artists are doing. So it's our time as artists to continue to use our voice to promote what's right, you know.
Really well said, Jaron. And I think that a couple of the words, I'm going to just say the word people.
Mm-hmm.
We're people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to look through the lens and they're going to see people working together. They're going to see people communicating together. They're going to see people creating. They're going to see all those things. And I think art is so important right now. It's just essential.
It is.
It's just a way to communicate. It's the way to express. It's a must need now.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we're dealing with how to do that. Zoom. It's just not the best scenario.
Yeah.
But you know what? We have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so
absolutely. Yeah, it's not the most fun as being behind the camera for everything you got to do now. You know, it's not the funnest time. You know, I use that word funnest. Actually, you know, but
this is fun. I'm gonna tell you something. This is fun.
Yeah, so this is fun. Yes. You know, but you know, I mean, yeah, it's just, you know, I do want to hug people. You know, I do want to, you know, high five people. You know, but you know, we got to be safe right now. So the circumstances have led us to, luckily, online. Internet has been advanced enough so we can do this, you know, because come 10, 15 years ago, this wasn't the case.
That's
you know, so but, you know, I mean, yeah.
I want to finish this off today. This has been great, and I do appreciate you coming on, and I want to come back to the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is your voice. So I went onto your Facebook page, and I was going like, listen, I'm a dancer. I have pretended that I could be a baritone singer. But to do the can we take 1 minute? And I want to go through this process with you. And can we do when we're going to do one big note together? And I want to finish this interview off with a big note. Okay. This is just we're a combined note. So teach me how to do a note. And anybody who's watching this, don't hang up yet or don't leave it yet. Join in. Right now.
Yes.
Let's go, Jaron. Teach me a note.
Okay, I will teach you a note. So, as a dancer, you're bringing it with your body, and so singing is a whole body thing. It's not just a hear thing. So, what I want you to do, when you inhale, I want you to feel it, the air go low and relax. I never say diaphragm. You know, I just say low and relax. Just think low and relax. So you inhale. Just think. I want to fill up with air a little bit. And then I'm going to use my abs and my respiratory muscles to support the note, okay? So use those back muscles, ab muscles, intercostals, all those things to support the note. Now, I don't know what note we're going to sing because I don't have a piano in front of me. So let's just do, I'm picking notes, we want the same note. Let's do, there you go. See, there you go.
And again, ready? All together. Okay,
here we go.
Wait, one more time. One more time. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna go off the line in about 2 seconds. Ready? One more time, and I'm gonna go.
Cool.
By the way, thank you. See you later.
Yes.
Yeah.